Hello, I'm Professor Wayne Visser, and I'm sending you greetings from the United Kingdom to you in Vietnam to help you celebrate Earth Day in 2026. And I wanted to just take a few moments to share some thoughts about the state of the world and more specifically the state of sustainability right now. As many of you will know and will be experiencing, we have something of a sustainability recession, or some talk about it as an ESG backlash going on. This is largely to do with geopolitics as well as a tough economic climate. And at this time, I want to encourage you to hold on to a couple of things. If I reflect on my six great transitions that we're going through as a world, I think they're very relevant for this time. One of them is that we need to hang on to responsibility. Responsibility means that we continue to fight for human rights, for ethical practices, for compliance of the law when it comes to upholding those rights. This has always been the case. Human rights, labor rights, these have always been a fight. We should never take them for granted, and even if the times are tough right now, we should continue to focus on those and continue to hold companies to account to make sure that they're complying with the law and upholding those human and labor rights. The second is resilience. I talk about this as the transition that deals specifically with disruption, which we are experiencing a lot of in the world today. What do we do in the face of crises? Well, we're living in a world of polycrises, of multiple crises all happening at the same time. And so this is really about focusing on resilience strategies, making sure, for example, that we diversify what we focus on, what we invest in, that we decentralize as much as possible, that we build in capacity so that we can deal with disruption. Many strategies to help us adapt and bounce back. Really, it comes down, though, to hanging tough, to making sure that we continue to carry on with our work, even when the situation in the world or in our country or in our business environment feels like a headwind. The third area I think we need to continue to focus on, and this actually helps us with resilience, is renewal. Focus on those renewable resources. This is often where we're going to see the economic benefits. Something like renewable energy, solar, wind, and batteries in particular, as well as increasingly electric vehicles. These have made sufficient progress in the market that they're beyond the tipping point, and they make economic sense now, especially at a time where we're experiencing two wars that are essentially about land and oil. So continue to focus on those solutions where the market is on your side, and let's continue to scale those. Then I think that there is a piece where we need to focus on rewiring. Now, what is that? You often might have heard the idea of rewiring our brain when we have to adapt to new situations, where we have to learn new behaviors. We remap the pathways of our brain where the neurons are firing. So we essentially create new intelligence. Well, that's happening now very much at scale and very fast in terms of our technology. Of course, we have the rise of artificial intelligence. And my plea to you is to embrace that, to really look at how AI in particular, but also robotics and Earth information systems, many of the technologies that are advancing very fast, how they can be used in the service of sustainability. Of course, there are risks, there are downsides in terms of energy, materials, and water footprints, but these we can manage. And what we need to do is to use this new intelligence for our benefit to rapidly amplify and scale the sustainability solutions. So, my advice is embrace AI and use it in the service of sustainability. And then the final one that I think we really need to take care of is regeneration. It seems strange that in tough economic and tough sustainability times, I would be calling for us to go even beyond sustainability towards regenerating our Earth systems. But there's a reason for that, and that's because we face a situation where many people are losing hope. And they're losing hope because we're stuck in the problems. All we're seeing is the bad news on the news headlines or in our social media feeds. And what we need is a positive goal. We need to be able to show that it's possible to bring back nature, to restore life. And one of the areas I would encourage you all to look at in particular around the theme of regeneration is our food and agricultural system. There is so much potential here for transformation. It is the sector that does the most damage to biodiversity and to ecosystems, but it is also the one where new technologies can really help us and bring about a radical change and advances towards regeneration. I'm thinking of technologies like precision fermentation and cell-based agriculture, but also regenerative agriculture. So wherever you can, support those practices and help them to scale. Well, to conclude, I believe that as part of Earth Day, you will be receiving a copy of my poem, The Environmentalist, translated into Vietnamese. So I thought I would end with a different poem in English because I think it really speaks to the moment that we're in and to the opportunity of Earth Day. And this one is called Nature Positive. I'm thinking it's not too late, that our fate is not sealed, that the race of life is far from run. We're not done. For we wield the wand of choice. We have a voice. We can speak for the earth and not let her perish. Take care of her creatures and all that we cherish. For we are not ready to give up or stand idly by and watch our mother die. Let it begin with protecting more. Then let's restore the land and sea. Let's win back what we've lost before the cost becomes too high, because the sky's the limit and fortune favors those who try. I'm dreaming of a new world, of nature unfurled, in swirls of blue and curls of green, in bursts of yellow and swathes of pink. Each time I blink, another species comes back from the brink. Another habitat is restored to health, and the wealth of ecosystems returns, emerging from the gloom of the womb to give birth to a revitalized earth. Let it begin with the wolves and the whales as we tip the scales of trophic cascades, and as our fear fades, we realize that hunter and prey are performing a dance, a rhyme that gives us a chance to reanimate the world given time. I'm learning that nature is resilient, that it's brilliant at bouncing back if only we give it space. The lack of bugs and birds, of fish and trees can be reversed in a burst of recovery as the great extinction turns into a great flourishing and nourishing of roots and shoots as biota and biomes, cycles and food webs are repaired and their bounty is shared. Let it begin with the factories and farms, turning harms into new ways of making and growing, of showing how waste can be nutrients and soils be alive, for life coils like a spring, forever poised to survive and thrive. I'm turning dreams into action and gaining traction as solutions take hold and scale, as we dare to be bold and fail, while tales of our success spreads like bees from flower to flower. The power is in our hands to clean up the oceans and heal our lands. And so I'm choosing to detox, to reseed and rewild for the hopes of a child. Good luck with your event. Happy Earth Day, and I hope that I see you all in person one day.